Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the TheGameHuntah channel. Another episode, Clash Royale, and in this episode, let's talk about the Skeleton Army one more time. Because after the latest patch, the Skeleton Army is becoming a really interesting card. Costing only 3 elixir. Yes, we reduced the amount of Larrys from 21 to 16. But there is another detail. The level of the skeletons is going to be 5 times higher of the level of the skeleton army. For example, right now I got this skeleton army level 4, so all the little skeletons that I'm gonna deploy on the battlefield are gonna be level 9. What? Yeah, exactly. That is the most important part of this update of the skeleton army. So there is plenty of combinations now. We can use the skeleton army with the giant, with the prince, which is my favorite. So in a few more seconds, we're gonna go to the battlefield and we're gonna take a look to a couple battles using the skeleton army. You guys are ready? Let's go! Let's go for battle number 1. We're gonna start with Musketeer, Ice Wizard, Fire Spirit, and Prince. My opponent, which is Trouble, Barbs, which is Trouble, Minion Horde, which is a mega Trouble, and the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie, of course, it's gonna be my worst enemy because the skeleton army doesn't like the Valkyrie. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna start using the Valkyrie a lot. I'm trying to stay away from that card for now, but depending on how many players are using the skeleton army from now on, we need to make a change. Okay, so we're gonna support the first attack with the Prince, Ice Wizard, Musketeer, and now look what we have one more time, the Ice Golem. I keep saying it's so useful. Here comes my army. Look at that, the skeleton army, level 9, completely destroying those barbs. And my opponent right now is getting completely overwhelmed. Swarm, that's what we do. They look like a little Zergs. If you are familiar with games like a StarCraft, you're gonna probably remember the Zergs, and that is exactly what the skeleton army is doing now. In 2 seconds, we were able to wipe the floor, we cleaned one of the towers, and we destroyed like a halfway the king tower. Right now, my friend is trying to do whatever, but the damage is already done. Because one push with the Prince and the skeleton army, it's all we need. Let's go for the next battle. Battle number 2, here we go. This one is in a tournament. We're gonna start with the Ice Golden, Musketeer, Fireball, Goblins. My opponent, Lightning, the Flying Cow, the Miner, and Balloon. Alright, so let's see how this deck can handle the La Balloon combo. Okay, we see the Flying Cow coming this way. That is not good. I mean, the best defense that I have is the Musketeer and the Ice Wizard. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna start bothering my opponent from the left side. Okay, if you're gonna bring me the Flying Cow from this area, I'm gonna attack you with my Prince and my Ice Golem from the other corner. You see, we didn't touch the enemy tower, but we were able to counter the Miner and maybe the push that it was coming from the right side. See, that is why it's so important. Oh, the Princess! The Princess is gonna be the nightmare of the army, the skeleton army. She can completely wipe that army in 2 seconds. So you gotta be ultra careful. You gotta see what card your opponent has before deploying the skeleton army on the battlefield. It's not like every time that you feel like it, you're just gonna deploy the skeleton army in there and they're gonna take care of business. I hope is that the case, but it's not, because if your opponent has arrows, Fireball, Valkyrie, Princess, they can completely destroy the skeleton army. Okay, you see we did a little bit of damage with the Ice Golem. That's a little nice bonus that we received now, doing some damage to the flying troops. And now we're kind of like in trouble for just for a few seconds. We got the Miner, we got the Ice Wizard, now the Ice Golem in front, and we're gonna start charging towards the enemy. Ooh, that's Lightning. Yeah, it's getting a little bit difficult, but one of the things that I noticed is that my opponent is using a really kind of like a expensive deck, because the Flying Cow and Lightning, they require a lot. So that's why I'm trying to push as fast as possible. I cannot let my opponent breathe for too long. Okay, so now Fireball taking care of the Princess. Now we can start pushing with the skeleton army. I know there is a bunch of the minion hordes right there taking care of Larry and company, but still, I mean, I still have enough troops right now to push forward with the Musketeer. A couple of Goblins, they're gonna reach the target, they're gonna probably destroy the tower. There you go. And now we got the Prince, Ice Wizard, and everybody else to finish the job. Super fast deck. It's a really offensive deck, but I know there's a bunch of flaws. For example, Dealing with the giant Sparky will be trouble. Maybe just maybe no. The skeleton army is really useful surrounding and overwhelming the giant and Sparky. So I think we're pretty well covered. If you have any suggestion of when do you think that this deck is not gonna work, please post in the commentary section. I would love to know your opinion. Alright, let's go for the last battle of this episode. Let's go for battle number 3, and we're gonna start with the Ice Wizard, Fire Spirit, Fireball, and Goblins. My opponent with the Minion Horde, the Dark Prince, Bowler, and Princess. One of the things that I try to do with this deck, I try to be a little bit more patient. Usually I'm very aggressive. Usually I always try to come out with, if I had the combo in my hand, I try to attack right away. But I've been learning little by little. Well, this is, I know you can do this. I hate to be just there and just staring at the screen and waiting for my opponent to do something and just do a counter. I just found that extremely boring. It's like I'm playing with Sniper. I don't see any points in that. For me, it's no fun. So that's why I always trying to come up and trying to be aggressive, trying to get something going early in the game. There is so many times that I come across matches where my opponent doesn't want to even touch any unit until like at the last minute rush. I've been seeing that before, and I definitely disagree with that. Well, again, there is different game styles. That is completely valid. But my personal opinion is like, what is fun about that? Well, whatever. Anyway, so trying to be a little more patient with this one, but I'm not gonna wait for too long. We're gonna start pushing right now with the Ice Golem with some bodyguard. The little goblins behind the Ice Golem trying to do a little bit of damage against the tower in the top right corner. In the meantime, I got my Ice Wizard taking care of the Dark Prince. I really hope that the Dark Prince is a card that is going to receive a bonus in the future, in future patches, because it is so cool. The idea of the card is great, but once that the shield is down, the Dark Prince goes down so fast. Not even funny. Definitely need to add something. I don't know what. Maybe extra damage. Maybe more hit points. I don't know. There has to be a way to balance the game, but adding the Dark Prince, because it's really, really cool. I love that card, but until now it's not that effective unless you use it with the other Prince and the P.E.K.K.A. That's a decent combo. Alright, so far, look at that. My Musketeer almost brought down the tower in the top left corner. Here comes the army of skeletons. So useful right now, so cheap to deploy. Only 3 elixir, completely cleaned the path for my Prince. My Prince was able to do some crazy damage against the tower in the top right corner, and things are getting a little bit under control now. As you can see, both towers, the one in the top left corner 274, in the top right corner 476 hit points left. So we have the upper hand, so we can definitely finish this one with this Prince. If the Prince reaches the target, yes, because the Inferno Dragon is too slow. Inferno Dragon need to wait for a few seconds before start charging that deadly beam. Right, we got the Dark Prince coming this way. That's not a problem. I got my Ice Golem. That's the whole purpose. Fireball to take care of the minions, and we can use the little army of skeletons, skeleton army, to take care of the Prince. And victory, it's our. The deck still works, man. I'm definitely gonna do a live stream, and we're gonna probably organize a tournament just using this deck. You're gonna see how effective it is. Well, besides that it's effective, there is always a counter. Okay, so I can't really tell you there's always gonna be like a deck like 100% wins. Okay, that's not the case. I know a lot of people like to do that and say that in their videos, like, okay, this is the deck that is gonna help you to win every single battle. That is not true. You're always gonna come across somebody who has a deck that is specially designed to counter yours. But at least this one is fun. It's super, super fun. So I recommend you to give it a try. Fellas, this is TheGameHuntah with another episode of Clash Royale. I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.